In the fall of '81, future Megadeth frontman Dave Mustaine finally found an artful outlet for his aggression with Metallica. The band was at the cutting edge of a musical revolution called thrash, a fusion of punk rock and hardcore heavy metal.
It was angst and testosterone driven about anarchy and things like that. Four of us were the detonation, the beginning of something that was going to really affect music forever.
With songs like Jump in the Fire, Metallica cranked up the oral anger of seminal metal bands like Motorhead, clashing head-on with the glam groups dominating the LA music scene.
So tell me what you think about glam rock.
To me, glam rock stands, glam means gay LA music.
We had grown up in LA and saw all of the BS rock star podium, big wig hairdo stuff, and we were so against any of that.
When you please go out
Metallica spent a year perfecting their sonic jabs in clubs and studios, proving that their bad boy image was no act.
When I would go to rehearsal, I would leave the dogs there to watch the drugs. And one day I took one of the dogs with me, and she put her paws up on Ron McGovney's car and scratched the front panel.
The pit bull started jumping on my car, scratching it all up. And I hear James yelling at Dave saying, "Hey, get your frickin' dogs off of Ron's car."
And James kicked the dog. Now, everyone thinks I kicked James' dog, and it wasn't that way. James kicked my dog, and that's where we went, "Don't do this, oh, don't do this, or you're going to get fired."
And I hear James yelling at Dave, and all of a sudden Dave just came unglued. "Don't you say this kind of crap about my dogs." And they're nose to nose.
"Shut up or I'm going to hit you." And then the bass player goes, "You hit him, you're going to have to hit me first." And then James goes, "You hit him, you're going to have to hit me first." And I said, "You win, James." And I belted him in the mouth.
Knocked him across the room. He wasn't even expecting it.
And the bass player jumped me, and I flipped him.
He threw me against the wall like a big judo throw. And we just got him and said, "Get out of here, you're out of the band, All right, F you, blah, blah, blah." And he goes in, packs up all his stuff, leaves, comes back the next day. "Can I be back in the band?" You go, "All right, okay, you're back in the band." Dave was pretty much a Jekyll and Hyde.
That started perpetuating the Dave's an asshole rumor, because as far as anybody knew, I was just a badass on guitar that liked to fight and drink.
Well, it just got worse. I wasn't home one time, and Dave was sitting there drinking, and my bass was on a guitar stand, and he decided to take a whole beer and just pour it right into the pickups on my bass. Just down the whole thing in there. I didn't know anything about it. Go plug it in. About blew me across the room, shocked the hell out of me. I told Dave, "Look, you guys get the F out of my house. James, get out, you're gonna have to leave. That's it, I can't take it anymore."
Within weeks, McGovney was out of the band.
He just was not dangerous. If you're going to be in Metallica, you're four badasses, not, three men and a baby,
They came in the U-Haul, loaded up their stuff, and they were off to San Francisco.
Metallica moved their angry act to San Francisco and hired bass player Cliff Burton. The city by the bay soon became heavy metal headquarters.
There were gods in San Francisco. We're selling 3,000-4,000 tickets to shows. They were legends before they ever released a record.
We felt a lot more comfortable up there, and the whole flashy side of LA just wasn't so prominent up there,
On stage, Dangerous Dave was part of Metallica's instant attraction.
I believe you have a middle finger.
Dave was outspoken, did a lot of talking into the microphone, which I thought was very unusual for a guy who was not singing at all. He was playing the role of bad boy. And he played it well. He was a pretty scary guy.
It seemed to me like I was the leader of the band because I had big balls and I wasn't going to take shit from anybody.
Metallica quickly drew allegiance from an underground army of angst-ridden teens, already armed with the sounds of the new wave of British heavy metal.
We were all followers of the new wave of British heavy metal.
Metallica's music was kind of like these groups, but Americanized, more powerful, more straightforward.
I had never heard such a twin rhythm guitar kind of deal going on. Their music just had more speed or something to it, and it blew me away.
So you couldn't read about it in mainstream magazines. You couldn't hear it on the radio. There certainly was no MTV or videos or VH1. It was really about a network.
By the beginning of 1983, Metallica had punched out a 7-song demo tape, No Life Till Leather, that quickly became legendary in the American metal underground.
What the music was speaking about, the lyrics and the lifestyle, that really hit home to a lot of kids for that time period.
We are you and you are us. On the No Life Till Leather demo, James says, we are Metallica, you are Metallica. And that was sort of the ethic that lived, with all these fans and all these bands.
That March, aspiring metal manager Johnny Zazula heard the tape and convinced Metallica to move to New York.
Are you planning to do any recording soon?
May 1st, Rochester, New York.
With James Hetfield's pickup in tow, Metallica hit the road in a U-Haul.
The back went down and you were locked in there, and whatever happened back there, if you could afford a flashlight, you were king, But there was no light, no anything back there. You just get rotted and sleep, hopefully. And hope the gear didn't fall and crush you.
While I was in the back of this truck, rust came down from the ceiling and got in my eyes. I said, I gotta get to an emergency room because I've got metal shavings in my eyes. And they didn't want to stop till we got to Old Bridge.
Dave's dark side soon got the best of him.